Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Genesis Mindset. So, first of all, I wanted to just, as always, give my gratitude to everyone actually that has been following me, commenting, liking, subscribing. I've just reached over 1,000 subscribers, so I was actually really happy about that. It was a nice milestone actually, and I must admit, when I was doing this months and months ago and getting like less than 100 views on the videos, I thought, I don't see how this milestone can be achieved. And I even remember hitting up Corey Costa and asking like, how is this possible? How do people actually do this? And he just kept telling me to be consistent. So, and in actuality, Corey Costa is a big source of inspiration for me starting this. And one of the things I remember, one of his tweets and the kind of outlines that he set for an influencer, I really tried to follow that. So thank you, Corey. That's been really helpful. And so, yes, thank you very much, everybody. Hope you have been enjoying the content. Obviously, the last few episodes have been BTC Mobic. My comment section got inundated with Koreans, but I'd actually really love to hear from the people who aren't in BTC Mobic. I want to find out if there is any source of interest there. I'm trying to ask my friends, and I'm sharing it with them. Some of them have just said, "Look, I don't want to buy it," and that's totally fine. I don't want I'm not here to tell you to buy it or not. I just want to know if it's something that you find fascinating as a concept. For example, the airdrop design. So I'd really like to hear that kind of a feedback. The next episode on the BTC Mobic, I think, is going to be a really awesome episode because I'll really be uncovering what's actually going to be happening with the origin address for that particular token. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. And today, this is all based on the poll. So thank you very much, everybody, for the feedback. And the poll was massively in favor of teddy bear. So today's episode for the Genesis Mindset, we're going to be talking about teddy bear. So as always, this is mindset for investing, trading, and life. This is my personal opinion only. It's not financial advice. And especially with this, because it's a meme and I don't want people going and buying because, oh, he said it was going to be really good and this was what he said. Please don't do that. Please don't. Have your own convictions. Make up your own mind. This is just my personal opinion. So teddy bear. Can teddy bear become the premier meme coin? And I deliberately picked the tiny teddies here because the nostalgia. So if you're in Australia, you know what these tiny teddies are. We would go on teddy bear picnics in primary school and we'd take our rugs, we'd take our teddy bears and all our friends, and we would take our tiny teddies and have a jolly good time. So this is what it's like in Australia. We get up to a whole bunch of no good down under. So meme coin. So what I've actually done is I've developed my own formula for this particular meme coin. So just by observation. So as you may or may not know, I studied architecture. So in architecture, I love to study the different dynamics of a city. So for example, what makes a museum a museum? Why is it? It's got a different function. It serves a different role in a city. And I use this analogy when I was describing Atropa, and I've also used it in describing Pulsechain. So I really want to run with this because a museum serves a different function to an apartment, an office, a house, a restaurant, a park. They all form part of a city, but it's the totality of those things that make the city. And so when you go to a city, if you go to somewhere like New York, I went to New York because I wanted to see the Guggenheim Museum by Frank Lloyd Wright. He's one of my favorite architects. I wanted to go see that. Also wanted to see Empire State Building. Shout out to Jay-Z. And I wanted to explore the architecture there. I wanted to see all the different things in that city. I didn't go there for no apparent reason. I went there because I wanted to do something specific there. Therefore, I try and use that same principle here. Meme coins serve a purpose in the totality of a blockchain. And what is its value? It's to bring value to Pulsechain. That's why I'm not against anything. I'm not a maxi for any particular thing. I try and accept everything. That's just the mindset that I like to have. Because at the end of the day, when I go to New York, I didn't just go visit the Guggenheim. I spent money at the restaurants. I spent money in other museums. I spent money everywhere. So I'm bringing value. I'm bringing my money to that ecosystem. And it's the same thing here with meme coins. This is why I think meme coins serve a very important role to the function of a particular blockchain. So this is why I'm very excited about teddy bear. It's really not something that I've ever mentioned or spoken about in the past, but this is the formula for why I have such high conviction. So I basically have looked at everything, and all the study that I've done is the things that I think make this such a good call is it has the Atropa ecosystem behind it. It has a new layer one behind it, Pulsechain. It's memorable, it's cute, and it's new as a meme coin. It has big influencers shilling it, and it has a strong community. And this equals high conviction. There's lots of meme coins, but this is the one that has really resonated with me for whatever reason. I just follow that. I follow my own instincts as to why I think this is good. And so this is why I think it's good. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to present that case to you in this episode. So before we actually go into it, I also want to just quickly do a quick cover of everything that's going on in Pulsechain and the Atropa ecosystem, because it's very important to set that context. So as I have been basically discussing in previous videos related to Atropa, is that there's this inverse relationship between Atropa and Pulsechain, or rather Pulsechain and Atropa. Now, this line here is the newest phase. So all of these are the different phases. When there was a down, there was an up. When there was an up, there was a down. When there was a down, and up. So there's inverse. Now we're in this phase here, the newest phase. I've just been analyzing it, and there was a nice surge in price in Pulsechain and a big drop in Atropa. Now we've just seen a big drop in Pulsechain. Are we going to start to see Atropa rising up? Is this going to continue to play out? Is this thesis going to continue to play out? I'll be very interested to see that. So I wanted to just quickly show that it does look like it is starting to get some upward momentum. It does look like it's bottomed out. It does look slightly bullish, but really, you really never know. Okay, so back to the presentation, just to give that context. Okay, so first of all, Atropa. So what's so important about this Atropa? It's the narrative. It's the narrative behind the meme coin. We've got this Atropa ecosystem, which is this huge mystery. So it's this huge narrative. And in my opinion, it's actually one of the most interesting narratives in all of cryptocurrency right now, this concept of PDI to $1. Can it get to $1? Can this ecosystem create a truly decentralized stablecoin? If it can, if it does, I don't think people realize how huge this is. Yes, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, oh, cool, I'm going to buy some PDI and it's going to go to $1. I'm going to make a lot of money. Yeah, that's part of it. But what this actually means for cryptocurrency as a whole, what this means for currencies as a whole, the fact that something can be created out of nothing like this and form a stable token price. This is going to be something that's going to be, in my opinion, somewhat revolutionary. I'm not saying that, oh, the whole world's going to go to PDI as a reserve currency, but that principle of how it was actually created, it's like cryptocurrency is this test bed for all these ideas, and we're actually going to see if this can actually come to fruition in the Pulsechain ecosystem, and that's going to bring a lot of eyeballs. There's also the mystery of the 414. Who is the 414? What are they actually up to? What are they creating? And in actuality, there has been some big uncoverings in that recently. So there has been communications with the 414, and people in the community have seemed to verify it. So when they were having these communications with the 414 on IRC, they were basically asking them, okay, well, if you're the 414, do this and do that. So getting them to basically perform some actions to see whether it is the 414. And the 414 wallet ended up creating an IRC token after this. So this is what people are saying is proof. I'm not necessarily saying it is or it isn't proof of it. Could have just been somebody, the actual 414 lurking in the background and just kind of playing along like they have done from the start. And in actuality, I'd kind of prefer if it wasn't the 414 we were in communication with, because I still like that mystery element to it. But that's just me. But I'm just going to go over some of the things that they've discussed about teddy bears. So if this is the 414, we can see it from their perspective. So you mentioned TSFI, so T-share finance is what people are calling it. What about your teddy bear token? So the teddy bear token has been largely bought and will hit a liquidity bubble bottom after a little while. Teddy bear is the deposit trust that backs the treasury bills. So through this whole discussion, basically you can see what the 414, if this is the 414, is trying to do with this ecosystem of Atropa. It's basically trying to create all these different sectors of a financial institution. And so teddy bear, in this instance of this financial ecosystem, is the deposit trust that backs treasury bill. And then we also asked, would you say the top tokens are Atropa, PDI, TSFI, teddy bear, as many claim, or is that incorrect? And the 414 said you should make your decisions based on the factors of each token. So like I said, I'm sure we saw the eternal bottom already. So it's good timing for all of them, but depending on how investment comes in, wild things could happen. So still a bit of speculation there. And the 414 is speculating that the bottom is in for the Atropa ecosystem. And I certainly hope so. I'm also inclined to believe that with the huge dip in Pulsechain, I think potentially it could be the bottom if that money starts to flow into it. Is Punk War Grill mintable coins? Do you have any plans to mint those, or could we build communities around them similar to Teddy or Monet? So the 414 said TSFI is the asset I personally recommend because it's most likely to return the largest profit on the smallest short-term investment, so in the quickest timescale. Teddy Bear is possibly stronger for a large investment, but I presume anyone putting that much into the system can do their own research. Okay, so we have seen a lot of new wallets onboarded with P-Dye pegging and also huge amounts from Teddy Bear. This is key, by the way. This is really key. This is the one thing that I spoke about at the start, people being onboarded into the ecosystem. So are we better to concentrate on a specific narrative or risk spreading too thin on too many? The play distribution in the assets that receive the most influence and the most interest will influence how the push forward will occur for further development on the ecosystem. The IRC token was created to represent that I feel ready about the ecosystem completeness to declare it stable enough to receive comments. So now also the 414 is basically saying that the Atropa ecosystem is complete. So it has all the different sectors of this financial system it's trying to create. The bots, the algorithms, everything that's working with the different kinds of liquidity pools and where he or she moves it. And basically now, that's why they're coming forward to say, I feel that it's ready and we can actually start to comment. I'm going to come out of the shadows. What's your idea on CIA and Monet Money? Besides Teddy, they currently seem to be the top performing tokens in terms of community building. Please take a look at the liquidities. This is key. Please take a look at liquidities and top holders on any coin before gauging profit potentials. That's designed to set up the whole outlook. The profit potential for jumping into a token with a lot of locked up liquidities of other tokens likely to go up in value and a very low number of holders at all is literally most likely to return the best profit on a random buy. So let's read that again. The profit potential for jumping into a token with a lot of locked liquidities of other tokens likely to go up in value and a very low number of holders at all is literally most likely to return the best profit on a random buy. And there was a huge liquidity lockup between CIA and Teddy. So that's definitely something worth investigating. If CIA is going to go up, then it's going to bring up Teddy Bear with it. And if there's a low amount of holders, it's going to bring Teddy Bear up with it because the liquidity is so thin. Is Japanese Teddy Bear also a meme coin? And again, it is a financial instrument. It has already been used a few times. So it's just another one of the different kinds of elements in this ecosystem, this financial ecosystem that the Atropa ecosystem is trying to implement on Pulsechain. Okay, all right. So that's Atropa. Now, layer one. It's a new layer one. This is another reason why I think it's got huge potential. So as a meme coin, on a new layer one, you have higher upside potential due to the fact that it's a new layer one. Yes, there's a lot of uncertainty about where Pulsechain could go with the SEC, with Richard Hart, but there's still a lot of strength behind it. It's still a cycle one coin. There still is a huge amount of potential upside. Whereas if this meme coin was on a different kind of a token, like a different kind of ecosystem like Cardano or even Ethereum, I mean, even Ethereum, it's so hard to launch meme coins on there. There's so many. It's like you got to be in and out faster than the speed of light. And then not only that, the upside potential is so thin compared to somewhere like Pulsechain, where the whole ecosystem has entered into its first cycle. So obviously the amount of multiplications that you can get in Pulsechain is different to what you can get in Ethereum. So if we imagine then that the multiplications that you're going to get on your money in Pulsechain is higher, then you can also expect that the multiplications of your money in your meme coins is also going to match that, if not exceed that. And obviously, Pulsechain is a thriving and growing ecosystem. So there's a lot to love about it. There's a lot to love about the direction it's going. The fact that we don't even know where Richard Hart is, and it's still pumping. People are constantly releasing new things. They're constantly developing. So shout out to the developers. They're doing amazing work. They are really the backbone of the ecosystem. And there's no Richard Hart. There is no centralized figure that's leading the way. It's a decentralized ecosystem. It's beautiful and it's thriving and it's growing. So it's a new meme coin, obviously. If it was a cycle 2 meme coin, it's a bit different. So just to explain, so your boy Richard Dawkins, Richard Dawkins the sinner. So I'm only joking here. I like calling people sinners. I'm not religious. It's just this kind of joke that I have, but he's obviously a very famous atheist. So he invented the term meme. So he describes it as a unit of cultural information that's spread by imitation. And this was in The Selfish Gene. This is an exceptional book, by the way. I actually read this book when I was back in the motherland in Macedonia. And I also read it alongside Brian Greene's The Elegant Universe, which is a book about string theory. I had swine flu. I couldn't actually cross over to Skopje, which is a capital city of Macedonia. So I did a lot of reading and I learned a lot, actually. So I couldn't really do anything. So in any case, seriously though, I was joking. I want to just be clear about that. I was joking. I hope it doesn't offend anyone. I'm not against atheists. I love everybody. Everybody is like, I accept you all. I've been through all the different phases of religion. I went from Orthodox to Christian to Buddhist to Satanist to atheist to agnostic. I've been everything. So for me, when I describe this existence that he would just call as like the universe, I just think, well, yeah, the universe, God, Buddha, Allah, it's all the same thing. You're just calling it different things. If you want to call it physics and you want to explain it as the Big Bang Theory and this flow of energy, then it's the same thing to me, but it has a consciousness. Okay, so teddy bears are cute and memorable, and there's also very strong pre-existing nostalgic bonds. So that's also specifically why I chose the cute little teddy bears at the start. And oh man, there's something about Somi. Everybody's friend Somi, when he mentioned tiny teddies today, and it's like, has he mentioned tiny teddies before? I literally put this tiny teddies in, and I was listening to his video, and he's talking about tiny teddies. This happens a lot with Somi. It's like, man, his wavelength. I'm like picking up on his wavelength or something. I don't know. So it's also you can easily replicate this meme. So it's something that's cute. It's something that's memorable. We all have existing bonds. We all had teddy bears when we were babies. We know what they are. So we have these emotional bonds already in our minds, and you can easily replicate it. So these are just some of the memes behind in the background there. So the other thing is, again, it's new. So Doge, Shib, Pepe, I hope they do well. I hope everything does well, but they actually need to build out new narratives to continue to grow and stay relevant. So they're building entire ecosystems around themselves, like Shiba Inu. I've really started to look a lot into Shiba Inu from the perspective of what it is as a PRC20, and I also want to compare it to what's going on in Teddy Bear because I have the same token supply. I will be showing that in a minute, but obviously Shiba Inu's created a whole like, it's got metaverse, it's got this whole ecosystem that's building around this meme coin. That's fantastic, and I wish them the best. But my God, if you go to any of their telegrams or any of their like Facebook groups or anything like that, they are just filled to the brim with scammers. It's like, oh, it's so saturated with disease that they really have a lot of things to push through. Whereas Teddy Bears is cute, innocent, new. So it's got that going for it. So it gets a tick on this as well, the fact that it's a new meme. It's not an old meme. We have big influences behind it. So the big dogs, your boys, Ian and the Moon King, they are the CryptoKings. So these are just some of the influences behind it. These are probably the biggest influence behind it. And as we know, B Roots is like the Shiba Inu prophet. So he made his name through Shiba Inu. He called it well before anybody else was calling it, and he saw it all the way to the top, and he made a lot of money out of it, and he did a lot of things with that platform. So you can say what you want about them. I don't really care. I'm not here to judge their character. I actually really like them. I like their honesty. I like the fact that they tell you exactly what they're doing, and you can see what they're doing if you really want to. You can check the blockchain. And at the end of the day, like, once you start to understand the structure of the human mind, so once I understood the structure of my own human mind through self-reflection, everybody's the same. We're all doing everything for self-centered reasons. The first principle of everything is myself. What is in my self-interest, my self-benefit? And they don't hide that. They're very upfront about that. So I think I really respect that, actually. So, okay. So they have a huge meme coin following. They really have a big standing behind them, and they're also really standing behind teddy bears. So obviously they're promoting lots of different kinds of meme coins, but they're really starting to promote teddy bear for quite a few weeks now, and they would have gotten in very early, as you can imagine. And I'm even starting to see signs of them bringing outside money into Pulsechain. So people from Ethereum are starting to come over. This is very important. This is signs of the energy from one blockchain moving into the energy of this blockchain and adding its energy to this blockchain. That is very, very, very important. That's something that is going to be extremely difficult to do. And if you can start to bring out outside energy, that can create a snowball effect and a chain reaction effect. They'll start telling their friends, start spreading it to their network. And if Teddy Bear keeps growing and it goes ballistic, it can just continue to bring more people in if the influencers are doing their job and actually continuing to spread the word of the teddy bear. And so also, law of meme coins, if you haven't seen this, Moon King did an amazing video on law of meme coins. It's a must watch. And what you'll actually see in this is that we've already gone past the first phase of the law of meme coins. So basically in the law of meme coins, it's 5 to 7 daily candles up and then a big dump. And it usually dies out after that. So you can make your money if you know this. And like when I've seen this, I'm like, man, Moon King is just giving this information out for free. Like this is his edge and he's giving it all out for free. I really respect that. He's made his money. I really admire that. Like, he gives a lot of shit to a lot of people, and that's funny. It's all give and take. That side of things I'm not really interested in, but I really respect that he's sharing his knowledge like that. And when you see that Teddy Bear has surpassed 2 of those areas where it could have been a dump and end, I think that's what also makes me really bullish. So, okay, then the community is extremely strong and it seems to be just growing. So the price action is an indication of that. It survived its first phase of the law of meme coins. It's gone parabolic, dumped, and then it's continued to go. So it survived phase 1. So it gives me a lot of conviction. This is at least going somewhere. Doesn't mean it's going to keep going. Who knows? That's not what I'm here to decide. I'm just telling you what I see and where I see it potentially going. And then also from my Twitter, it has the highest engagement on all of my tweets. They're all around Teddy Bear. I get in the thousands. So, all right, now I'm just going to quickly go back to the chart. So I wanted to just compare. So on the left here, this is in USD value. On the left here, we have Teddy Bear. On the right here, we have Shiba Inu. So what I've done here is I want to just show the story of what I'm seeing so far. So the reason why I use Shiba Inu is because it has the same token supply. So I kind of just ignore all of this because this was in a time where really not much was happening. And then this is kind of around about the same time in terms of the market cycle. So we had a big push here in Shiba Inu, like explosive gain. So this is a 712x, and these are not going to be exact. And then, it had a cool off. We saw the same thing in Teddy Bear, huge explosive, then a cool off. Then again in Shiba Inu, phase 2 had a huge run, another 637x, and then it had a cool off, and then it went into phase 3. And again, Teddy Bear, huge run. So 573x from that local bottom, and now it had a cool off. So what I am speculating, and again, it's all just speculation. Are we actually in this phase now? Are we in phase 3? Are we about to take off? So is all this money that's in Pulsechain going to go up? And the reason why I think this is really interesting as well in terms of the time cycles, we're still not fully in a commonly accepted bull market. Everyone's still on the fence. Are we in a bull market? Who knows? So we're at the beginnings of a bear market, which means there's probably going to be a lot of not much happening as well in certain tokens. And this is what happened in Shiba Inu until towards the end of that bull market, it just went ballistic again. And it did another 15x from that bottom. So this is possibly where we are. And I'll tell you, I love to analyze things, but I'm not necessarily a TA guy. So I have full credit to Access Alive on this one. So the big dog. So I asked the question on Vibra Finance's stream, on Adam's stream, about where he thinks or how he actually measures where potential price targets are. So he was basically saying you draw a Fibonacci from the local top to the local bottom. So I've done this in log, and it takes us up to the 1.618. And he's saying that's around about where I would look at my first target. But he also said you can go 50% of that. So from the bottom to the top, it's a cheeky 40x. It's a cheeky 40x for the boys. So can we get a 40x for the boys and the ladies? Who knows? I certainly hope so. Even if it's not a 40x, it's pretty damn good. And even if it's a 20x, that's pretty damn good. So let's see where it can go. It really depends on how much excitement it can generate. It also might just drop. It also might just go to zero. Who knows? No one truly knows. We're all just speculating. We're all just praying that it goes up. But from what I'm seeing, I certainly think that it's going to go up. Okay, so to conclude, I have high conviction in this. Again, wouldn't even consider myself to be someone that would talk about meme coins. I don't really, it's just something that I was never really good at or interested in, but I've really gravitated towards this. Something in my heart is like, this is exciting. This is exceptional. So my conviction is very high, and it's all based on this formula that I've developed. So as I've observed it, I've really started to break down, okay, what are the things in these other meme coins that have really given them that oomph, that kick? So you'll probably see that those elements in all those other meme coins of that formula that I've created. It's just my formula. I'm not some like super smart whiz kid. It's just something that I've come up with that I feel and think is right. Whether or not it is completely up to you. That's just my own little formula. So take it with a grain of salt, because the thing is, the risk is still really big because there's so many meme coins. That's probably the number one risk. There is so many meme coins. It's not funny. They're getting launched like all the time. And is this one going to have the legs? I don't know. But I hope this doesn't influence the stream. Oops, I'm going to have to turn the fan on because it's bloody hot here in Brisbane. I really believe that this is going to be the premier meme coin for this bull market. This is the thesis that I've taken my position on. So I've put money into it based on that thesis. Whether or not it is correct, I have no idea, but that's my thesis, that this is going to be the premier meme coin. I don't like chasing 100 different meme coins and get that. I'm more of a long term, and I think this is going to be the premier meme coin based on all the things that I'm seeing. And the whole point is ultimately it's going to bring value into Pulsechain. That is what really excites me. If it is the premier meme coin, again, if this is like the Doge, if this is the Pepe, if this is the Shiba Inu, and it's on Pulsechain, the boys are going to be laughing. We're going to be loving life. So that's my position. I hope it made a lot of sense. Thank you very much, everybody. Again, you can connect with me on all these social platforms. And I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it made any sense. And I'd love to actually hear your comments about it. What do you think that I've missed? Do you think something in there is ridiculous? Do you think I've gotten something completely wrong? Again, I'm just a guy out here that's seeing things and presenting to you my own observations based on the research that I'm doing. Whether or not it's correct is a completely another story. So thank you very much, everybody. I am going to be late for my class, so enjoy the rest of your day. And I'd love to hear from you about what you think about where Teddy Bear is going. Thank you. Bye.